Hi, welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and tonight my guest is Sergio Magana. Hey, Sergio.
Hello, Laurie.
I am so thrilled to have Sergio here. Sergio is based in Mexico, and he is a healer that, although he's only based in Mexico, he touches people around the world. And he's going to tell us how he did that and how he got into it. But thank you I know your schedule is so tight. Thank you for appearing on the Coaching Game.
No, thank you to you. It's a great honor to be here and to share with you.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, he has two books out. One is The Toltec Secret, and the other is his latest book called Caves of Power. And he's going to tell us about all of this and what the Toltec Secret is, I hope. Or is it a secret? No, it's a book, right? And also
it's
about
a book
caves.
with a secret.
Okay, yeah. So if you wanna find out more, you got to read the book. And also Caves of Power. But first, how do you? This is just so amazing to me. When did you know you were a healer?
I was kind of forced to know.
Okay.
Because I am Catholic of a traditional family, Mexican family, but the difference was that my mother worked, so I was really raised by a nanny. That she was the daughter of the healer, the curandero, of an indigenous group that they are named the Otomis, that they are very close to Mexico City. So I kind of have two mothers. The traditional one that took me to the doctor and give me medicines and antibiotics and everything, and the other one that, for example, if I had an ache, she would take tobacco, a normal brand of tobacco, and she would light it on. And then, for example, if it's a headache, she would start.
Now, is this the nanny or your mother?
No, the nanny. No,
your
the
mother's
normal one would take me to the doctor, will say, do you have fever? Or something like that.
She's more traditional. Okay, got it. So your nanny was...
the one that was doing like the tobacco thing and spinning it against the clock in front. And then she smoked. And then blew out in the place of the pain. She did it 4 times always, and in the 4th time, it like magic.
What would it cure? What was
will take out the ache or the
like a headache,
headache or the stomach ache. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? As a child, I remember that was when smoking wasn't as taboo as it is now. You would blow smoke into the baby's ear I remember that. So, but she did it everywhere. Okay.
Yeah, she could do it, and for me it was magic because it was as effective as taking pills, like for my other mother.
Yeah.
And then if it was a little bit something more severe or something like that, she would, for example, cleanse you with an egg, putting it all around your energetic body, and then she would break the egg in water, and then she will read exactly what she needed to do.
She would read the egg.
Read the egg, for example.
Okay.
If the yolk broke, then she would say, okay, let's tell your mother to go to the doctor because that would be a little bit more difficult. But if it didn't break, that was normal, she would know exactly what to do. For example, it's a pity that I didn't learn
egg
everything.
reading,
everything, because with that she would say, okay, or certain plants, or just like take some alcohol and put it around. She would know exactly by reading the egg white and the yolk.
How it sat in the hand, or
in the water. Because it
in the water.
Yeah,
okay, so how it expands.
It expands,
and moves
because one goes to the part of the ancestors, other to the emotions, other like things like could be like in your unconscious, something. And but exactly what I totally remember is if the egg yolk broke, you needed to go to the doctor.
Trouble.
Or she could do something more like trying to do with a coconut to break the damage, also to clean with the coconut, and then go out of the house to the door and then crash the coconut against, and then many times with that you will be healed. So for me that was my normal childhood, like having 2 mothers. with these
Traditional and
formulas.
an alternative. I've always said that the perfect doctor would be one with a foot in both worlds. So it sounds like you had that, but you had two doctors. So was your mother a proponent of this, or?
This is very funny because my nanny always told me, don't tell your mother, because if not, I could be fired. And like my mother was very strict on that, against tobacco and all these things, so I said she could be fired, and I loved her, so I never said anything. But when I was older and that, finally I knew that she was doing the same formulas to my mother, to one of my sisters, Erica, and to me. To my father, to my other brother, and to my sister Karina, she never did anything.
They didn't know anything, but everybody else had a secret.
Yeah, it was like half of the family was in the secret, and the other half of the family was in the...
that's so funny.
But for me, it created like a type of mind in which you know that traditional medicine is not the only solution.
So you're just saying this was normal for you. This was just a part of your childhood, and in the book you called her Rosita. Is that her name?
Rosita, yeah, no,
Rosita?
It's her real name.
Yeah,
it's a picture of her.
Oh, good.
And also
okay.
of my other teachers. I like, because I know that many people say I was taught by this and by that, and no one saw them and like that. For me, no. I put pictures.
Good.
And they are there.
Evidence.
They were and they were real people that people met.
Well, is it still? Does this tradition still go on? Are these healers still around Mexico City? And
yeah, this type of healings, many people.
So
it's not particular of Rosita.
Okay.
What I learned after was much more like hidden, the dreaming knowledge and that. But the beginning, there are many ladies around Mexico that they could they call them cleansings, that would do it with eggs, with that. Some are really good. Rosita was really good because she came directly. For example, when she came to my house, she didn't even speak Spanish. So she was out of her community, and she had to escape her community because her husband was beating her every day. So actually she was original. Yeah. Nowadays you see people that sometimes want to make some money or something like that, and they just pretend to put the egg and that. But the magic that I saw with Rosita about reading it and knowing exactly and like that,
genuine.
Now it's a little bit more difficult to find.
So how did you go from being healed to healing?
Then I totally became like a normal teenager. I wanted to be an actor, I was interested in spiritual work. I was very rebel. And then this is like the second part of the magic story, because my mother wanted to send me to a psychologist.
Straighten you out, right?
Yeah.
Make you act right.
Yeah. And then Laura, she was a psychologist. She is a psychologist because she's still my friend, and she sees a lot of clients. She's very popular in Mexico. But she also was an energetic healer. And the way in which she was healing first was like to use the peripheral vision to read your energetic body and that. So actually she was the first one that told me, because I was with this idea, I want to be an actor, but she told me, you're not going to be an actor. You're going to be like someone like me, and a very good one, she told me. It was the first time in my mind that it came, probably I will be a healer.
Possibility, yeah.
It came. And then she offered me to go, because in that time, of course, my mother would have never paid for workshops of healing and something like that. So she offered me to go to certain of her energetic healing workshops by free. Mm-hmm. So I began attending, and I learned many formulas with Laura. And then suddenly, once I was very late in my house, and my parents told me, okay, they kicked me out, actually. And then I said, I don't know anything. What can I do to support myself?
Money, I need money.
I need money to live. And I said, okay, healings. And actually I had learned so many things with the nanny and so many things with Laura that I said.
Did you believe you were a healer, or were you just going on Laura's word?
Because I tried many times before doing it professionally that I was able to take out headaches and
knew,
I knew because I was practicing. For example, in the parties and that, I was so happy when someone had like a problem because I was going to fix it just to practice, just to know that it worked. So I knew that I could do certain things, but that everyone can do. That taking headaches or depressions or opening the energetic field to take something that is more that was harder or more severe or something like that. So I knew that I could do certain things. But never like professionally and like nothing like that. Like life took me there. With the nanny and with Lara, I learned how to see energetic bodies. So I was able to give certain kind of diagnosis. So that's how my career started, because I was like like I had to work. There was like a talk about selling vitamins. And I wasn't selling them, but people that tried to make you sell them, you know, these multi-levels and that.
Pyramids.
Pyramids, that. And I don't know how the talk went from vitamins to energetic, to energy.
Seems like a natural path, but I think it was a long path, a long road,
So in that talk, I told one of the ladies, "Do you have a surgery here?" And she said, "Yes." "How do you know?" I said, "Because you have a lot of accumulation here." Other of energy,
yeah.
And for example, these things that probably sound, he has a talent and a gift. It's not. For example, now I'm doing a healing school in London, and I am teaching people exactly how to see that and how to know if people had surgeries in certain areas and they see it. It's not. It's nothing like. It's like. Gifted of something. Of course, you must practice, but it goes that way. And for not making very long the story, 3 people there were like asking me where they had surgeries. I told them, and after that, one was the director of a very important institution of behavioral center in Mexico City, and she began sending me the clients to fix the accumulation of energy of the surgeries and that. And in 1 month...
When you say fix, if I have a cut in my arm and there's an accumulation of energy, should it not be there, or should it be dispersed?
When they do surgeries, they cut for the Chinese, they cut the meridians. For the indigenous people, those centers are called Maui, like the Hawaiian island, that are the filaments of energy.
So you need to
so for example, if you have a surgery, the Maui, for the Mexican, for the Nahua people of Mexico, the Maui are cut. And if we want to translate it to other, it would be like the meridians from the Chinese are cut. So then, it's not that you see exactly the surgery, but that's why you can see it with clothes, because the energy keeps accumulating. For example, if you had the surgery here, and you will see much more energy there. It's not sure that it's a surgery, but it's 80% of probabilities that you had a certain issue or a health issue or a surgery there, because the energy is not flowing.
All right, I want you to brag. I want you to tell me how successful you were as a healer.
In the beginning, like 50, 60. But
okay. 5260. Okay,
50
all right,
to
got
60.
it. Yeah, all right.
But then when I met my other teachers, Charlotte and that, and they taught me like the training that, for example, is in the case of power, of how to empower yourself with to bring in the light of a cave or of the darkness, not the darkness like the bad thing of into the light, and how to empower your fingers with the power of the moon and like that. The average came to 80 to 90.
Wow.
That's why it became like huge, thousands of people, craziness.
Yeah.
Because actually I was a very rebel guy that wanted to party, and I was working, and suddenly I had these thousands of people in my workshops, and that some people was kissing me like the hand, like Sergio,
a lot of
like that.
responsibility.
No, I was scared. I retired myself for 1 year. I disappeared completely from the, because I was in radio, and that everything happened. Suddenly, the radio station decided to cancel the show because they wanted to move me from time. And I said, no, I don't want to move. And I disappeared. And when I came back, I said, I won't heal anyone else. I will teach people how to do it.
That's amazing, and I'm so thrilled. I mean, I'm a little. It's like, oh, well, I've got something you could heal for me, but I'd rather know how to do it myself. You know, really. I mean, it's going to take more energy. So you went from being this great healer who had a radio show and lots of followers, and life got in the way, and then you said, okay, I want to keep doing this, but I want to teach people how to do it.
Yes, and when I came back and there weren't more miracles and no more testimonials in radio of healings and that, I lost almost all the clients and all the listeners because they were used to something
They wanted
different.
you to do it, yeah.
Yeah, and they were used like to hear, only to hear the stories and that. And then I came back with the ancient Mexican tradition, where it came from, and how to do it by yourself, how to take the responsibility by yourself, and how to, that you need a lot of discipline to do it sometimes, to really learn, to see it. And I lost. I was almost canceled again of the radio, but
Not
now,
by choice.
now by low rating. But and actually, it was really fun because I began doing it for money, being very honest, and then I began putting my own money to sponsor the show to keep on.
Wow.
In order, because I knew that was the correct thing, and then the people that was listening to me changed. I began getting other type of people that wanted the responsibility, that didn't want a miracle from me or nothing like that, that wanted to do by themselves, and it became a success. I lost almost all my money in the second season, if we want to say it, but I'm so satisfied because then the people changed, and now sometimes I do certain healings in the workshops or something, just for the example. But now all the testimonials come from the people that learned from me or and they are doing it for example, one of my students from Mexico, Jose Isaac, because now I teach in almost 20 countries, but he celebrated his 10,000 client.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, like 1 month ago, and he put me in my Facebook, thank you to my friend teacher, because he celebrated his 10,000 client.
Sergio, are you telling me that we can all be healers? Or does it take a special kind of person?
Of course okay, let's be honest, there will be some that are more gifted than others.
Right.
But I truly believe that a little bit of talent with a lot of discipline and practice go more far away than a lot of talent without discipline. So I have seen people that
you can have a little bit of talent and you can discipline that
and then you develop it. Yeah, because I have seen it. And of course, there are many things about healing. So probably you're better healing physical issues or emotional. But I totally believe that all of us have a cave of power, our inside, that could be developed in order to get results.
All right, what's with this cave stuff? Because the title of the book is Caves of Power. And to me, a cave is a deep, dark thing that you may or may not want to check out. What does it mean? What are caves?
Exactly what you're saying.
Oh. Okay, a deep, dark thing you don't want to check out.
Because for the ancient Mexicans, the cave, what nowadays we call unconscious, is the cave. So it goes from the idea that you have of you ancestral patterns that maybe you want to see or not. The self-destructive part of us, the part of us that loves to fight with others also, the part of us that creates addictions, that's one part of the cave. But if the cave gets refined and you get to the other parts, there is also there the possibility to overcome your weaknesses. For example, that instinct of the mothers to love their children of the earth is part of the cave. to become a lucid dreamer, to create the reality from your inside. So actually the cave is our inside. Like the caves are like the inside of Mother Earth. So for the ancient ones is your inside. And actually it was said, there is like this myth that the Aztecs, while they were in pilgrimage looking for the promised land, they live in 7 caves. Those 7 caves are a metaphor of 7 portals that are very known in the world like chakras, but that we call them totonalcayos.
Yeah, okay.
And actually Chicomostok, that means the 7 caves of power, is to activate those 7 caves. That would be like the contact between
Are
your...
they kind of located where we think the chakras are located
Yeah.
too? Behind
They have different names and different functions, for example,
Yeah.
according to the culture.
It's all in this book because I got
Yeah.
lost. I'm not even going to lie, and I'm telling you with the technicalities, but I love the whole concept. So good, yeah.
And so caves of power is the inside, then the 7 portals that connect from the inside to the outside, and then Caves of Power was the training that the ancient eagle warriors, jaguar warriors, and serpent warriors did in caves for developing the power of their inside.
Yeah, so caves make sense. I like because it's like bringing the darkness out, putting light, shining light on the darkness.
Yeah,
and
actually, one of the
healing it,
first trainings is to go actually really to a cave with a hole, in which you would be calling the spirit of the light from that hole and putting it in each of the totonalcayos, giving like a command of what you want, and then to the next one and to the next one, and then you keep doing and doing and doing. It's like filtering light into the cave.
Beautiful.
Recently I was in Egypt, last year, not recently, but I saw that there are where they don't allow the tourists to go, but if you give a little tip, you enter. Of course.
All things are possible.
There are these chambers that are in complete darkness where only the pharaoh or the priests were allowed to enter, that are in complete darkness, just with a small pyramid that makes like the whole of the cave, in which they were doing similar things.
So now, are you saying people literally have to go into a cave, or their mind has to go into a cave? I mean, certainly, ideally, it would be to find a cave.
In the ancient times, you were into a cave or in the chamber in the temple.
Yeah.
But of course, I am a very modern guy, like I say. I like cities and that, so I try in Caves of Power to modernize the ancient training to do it. For example, I started doing it in my house. I closed everything. And I created my own cave in my house, and I began doing, I just left a little opening for the light to filter, and I began doing my training, and it began giving amazing results. So I think because I didn't create this book, actually it's the oral tradition and I just wrote it. I think that my star goes that I modernize the way for people that live in cities and that to be able to get those amazing results without having to leave their house and that, and just making like an effort and getting a nation training.
You mentioned ancestral patterns. What are they?
Ancestral patterns are the things that actually in the tradition they were called ancestral cores.
Course, okay.
That is things that in your family are repeated again and again. That sometimes they skip one generation or two. Sometimes they split between men and women. That is very interesting when you begin seeing the families. Then you say, okay, a lot of the women here divorce, or they have emotional problems, or a lot of the men have these kind of things, or sometimes it's alcoholism in everyone and that. Actually, for the tradition, it is said that how you dream is how you live. And that the way that in which we dream is inherited by our ancestors. We only use our modern archetypes. So we are repeating.
Say it again. The way we dream
is inherited by our
we
ancestors.
inherit that from our ancestors.
Only we use modern archetypes. For example, if you used to have...
we're not churning butter, we're making scones, whatever, more modern,
because they, for example, they didn't have, probably 10 generations ago, they didn't have cars and that. But if you're going to have violent dreams, probably they did it in horses, we did it in cars. And that you just modernize the same film.
Right.
And that's why the families keep repeating and repeating, and unless you discover that, you can begin changing. And one of the bases of all this work is to heal the ancestral pattern. Actually, the first Totonalcayo for us, or chakra, is the one that is in the coccyx, and we name it Colotl, scorpion. That is the one that has the old winds of your ancestors that you are repeating.
Wow, okay. Oh, that's fascinating. So you know what? How can people? Do you have regular classes? How do people find you? How do people? I know a lot of people have found you. I want more people to find you. If they go on your website, are they going to see where you're? I don't want to say performing, where you're teaching.
Where am I performing? My concert.
Now finally you're the actor you always wanted to be, yes. Where will you be performing next, Sergio?
Yeah, in my website, that is sergiomagana.com.
It's right on the bottom there, yeah.
Exactly there. There are all my events all over the world. I teach in Europe, I teach in Mexico, I teach in the US.
So when you say teach, you teach people how to heal, or you teach people to be aware, or you all of it?
No, I teach techniques. I'm very practical. I teach from lucid dreaming, but not lucid dreaming just to entertain yourself, how to solve your life through dreams, or how to do the psychic surgeries, or how to heal the ancestral patterns.
We didn't get to talk about psychic surgery. Is there something you could quickly tell us to, like, I know you have some exercises in the book, maybe how to breathe right, and so we can be receptacle. We only have like a minute and a half. I know.
A minute, oh my God.
Too long, okay. I'm sorry, read the book, yes. There's plenty of stuff in here. Let them read it, that's it.
But I want to share
there are
something that happened yesterday. Yesterday I was teaching here in New York. My first workshop in Spanish that I was really happy, and there was there was a lot of people, but one of the students began healing the ancestral pattern of alcoholism in his family. And then he said that he had a huge result, and there were like 7 people of the family there that they say, yes, I stopped quitting, I stopped drinking, I quit drinking, I quit drinking. For the first time I saw 7 people, like the result, a testimonial.
And you had never seen the 7 people. It was as a result of what he had done?
Sometimes people tell you, I did this and that, but I have never seen them like in the same space, and that they were taking the workshop because they saw what the other one, Armando, did for them. And they told me, for example, because I'm teaching in Mexico in 15 days, we will send our family to Mexico to the workshop because they saw the result, because all of them quit drinking. And for me it was like, because I believe what people tell me, but I have never seen like the 7 people involved in a testimonial like they're like.
That's really touching a lot of lives. We gotta go. I can't believe it. I am so thrilled that you came on and that you can tell there's so much more that you could learn from this gentleman. The books are The Toltec Secret and Caves of Power. Sergio Magana, I'm so excited, and I can't wait to hear what you're doing next. I'm going to check out your website. I think everybody should.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.